Hey guys, it's me again, and guess what? I've got something awesome to share with you. As part of my adventures exploring different side hustles, I've been dabbling into making money full-time using just my car. Sounds crazy, right? Well, I stumbled upon something pretty cool, and I thought, why not share it? If you haven't heard, there are a lot of apps like Uber Eats, Uber, Amazon Flex, DoorDash, Spark, and a whole bunch more that can be literal gold mines for anyone who wants to earn some extra income. In fact, with the right approach, I believe you can even replace your 9 to 5. I recently started driving for Uber Eats, and surprisingly, I'm loving it. I'm earning pretty good amount of money, between $8 to $15 per delivery, and I could squeeze in between 2 and 3 deliveries per hour. But for me, it's more about the flexibility than it is the money. Just being able to work when and where I want to is quite refreshing, especially when I'm coming off another job and I have an hour or two and I want to make a little bit extra. It's quite nice. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of how these apps work and how I've been able to and how you can earn money behind the wheel at your own leisure. While I do recommend that you try all of them to see which app is best for you, first start by signing up for just one app. If you want to deal and talk to people, I would highly recommend Uber, but if you would prefer to have some peace and quiet, I would recommend Uber Eats, Amazon Flex, or something along those lines, as the only thing you have to do is deal with packages sitting in your car and have a lot of time to yourself for your phone calls and relaxing listening to music. Each platform has its own registration process, but don't worry, it's usually pretty simple. Just fill in some basic information about yourself, upload some necessary documents like your driver license and insurance, and voila, you're one step closer to becoming a gig economy superstar. Once you're approved, I would highly recommend that you take some time in order to get familiar with the app's interfaces. These gig apps are designed to be user-friendly, so you can be something other than a tech genius to navigate them. You'll have access to a driver dashboard where you'll be able to see upcoming deliveries or available deliveries, track your earnings, and manage your schedule. Now, let's talk about the different types of gigs that you can take on. With Uber, it's more of a taxi service where you'll get pinged from different locations for customers that are trying to get a ride from one location to the other, and you simply go and pick them up and take them where they want to go, and you'll get paid for that directly in the app. While with Uber Eats, you'll take delivery orders. So you'll be delivering food orders from various restaurants to very hungry customers. And Amazon Flex, on the other hand, focuses more on package deliveries. So this is anything to do with Amazon. DoorDash, on the other side, is a mix of food and grocery deliveries. And then Spark offers gig workers opportunities from nearby Walmarts to deliver to the local community. As you can see, the opportunities are pretty vast, so you can choose the gig that suits your preference and availability at the time. One of the perks of working for these apps is flexibility. You're in control of your schedule. Want to work full-time? Go ahead. Prefer part-time? No problem. You can log in and out of the apps whenever it suits you. It's all about finding the balance that works for you. And when it comes to earning potential, it's all about being strategic. Peak hours and high-demand areas are your ticket to higher earnings. During lunch and dinner rushes, for example, the demand for deliveries skyrocket, and that means more money in your pocket. Also, keep an eye on search prices for Uber, for example, sometimes after 2, if you're in a big city with a big nightlife, you'll see search prices just skyrocketing, and which can make almost 90% of your income for the whole day in just a few short hours of being on the road. So in a month, you could potentially earn anywhere from $500 to $1,000 if you're working part-time. And I will say that $3,000 to $5,000 is not unrealistic if you take it seriously and you work multiple apps. It all depends on how much you work and how much you want to earn. Now, what I'm not saying is that it's a walk in the park. There are challenges for sure, like finding the best routes, finding the best location, managing your times, and dealing with the traffic. It's all part of the game, but let me tell you, It's one thrilling ride when you figure it out. And from my experience so far, what I saw are the best is if you take all these apps and work them throughout different hours of the day. So for example, Uber is great if you like waking up in the morning, let's say like 5 or 6 o'clock. There's lots of people going to the airport. You can pick them up and take them. But then throughout the day, Uber is mostly dead. And at that time, I would probably take something like Uber Eats or Amazon Flex. And then again, if you like working at night, Uber is amazing. Middle of the night when people are coming home from going to clubs or bars, it's a great time to make money, and there's a lot of search prices. So you can mix and match them and see which combination of apps works at what time the best so that you're making the most money all the time. Because the worst thing you could do is rely 100% on one of them and just have to suffer making maybe $5, $10 an hour while demand is low when you could have been making more money with another app at the same time. So if you're someone who enjoys driving, meeting new people, and values your freedom, I highly recommend you give these gig apps a go. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You can always make some extra cash. So that's been my journey so far with these gig apps. If you guys like this kind of content and you're interested in hearing more about my experiences, or if you want some tips on making the most out of these gig apps, leave a comment down below and let me know. Until next time, safe drivings and happy earnings.